Hello children, in this video, this is the last video for this first chapter. Effect of change of pressure. How does change of pressure influence the state of matter? Let us see this. We have already seen that in different states of matter, the difference is due to the distance between the constituent particles. In solid, the particles are very closely packed. In liquid, they are loosely packed. And in gases, lot of space is there between the particles. Let us see this. So, lot of space. If we take gas in a cylinder and compress it by applying pressure, particles can be brought together, closer together, or the gas can be compressed. We have already studied about this, that LPG, oxygen cylinder, in which a large amount of gas is compressed in a small cylinder and it can be easily transported from one place to another. Now, by applying pressure and reducing temperature, we can liquefy gases. Solid carbon dioxide gets converted directly into gaseous state if we decrease the temperature to 1 atmosphere without coming into liquid state. This is the reason why we called carbon dioxide as dry ice. Solid carbon dioxide is also known as dry ice. Let us see this diagram, interconversion of 3 states of matter. Here we see that we can convert all the 3 states. Interconversion is possible. Liquid on vaporization becomes gases. Gases on condensation become liquid. Then gases on sublimation become solid. And solid on sublimation becomes gases. So see the table carefully. And solid on fusion becomes liquid. And liquid on solidification becomes solid. So we have seen this figure. Interconversion of 3 states of matter. Now we come to our next topic, which is called evaporation. Now what is evaporation? The process of conversion of a substance from the liquid state to the gaseous state at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation. For example, in our lower classes you have studied that evaporation takes place in rivers, open water bodies, river, lake, seas. The water gets evaporated and goes up in the form of vapor, and then it cools down, condensation, and it falls down in the form of rain, which is known as precipitation. Also, another example of evaporation is wet clothes dry due to evaporation. So now we will see factors affecting evaporation. For this, let us see activity 14. It's a simple activity in which we take 5 ml of water in a test tube and keep it near a window or under the fan. Then in another 5 ml of water you take in an open china dish and keep it near the window or under a fan. Then again in the third, you take 5 ml of water in an open china dish but keep it inside the cupboard. Now we have to record. All the observations we have to record. So what we have to record? We have to record the room temperature, record the days taken for evaporation. Also repeat this activity on a rainy day, repeat it on a sunny day. And what do we infer? What is the conclusion that we come by doing this activity? So let us see. Factors affecting the state of evaporation. Number 1. An increase of surface area. The rate of evaporation increases on increasing the surface area of the liquid. For example, while putting clothes for drying, we spread it. We don't keep it, we don't keep it in a bucket. We cannot, if we keep all the wet clothes in a bucket, it's not going to dry. So if the surface area is more, the evaporation increases. Number 2, temperature. The rate of evaporation increases with an increase in temperature because more number of particles get kinetic energy to change into vapor state. Third point is humidity. What is humidity? Humidity is the amount of water vapor in air. Decrease in humidity increases the rate of evaporation. For example, our clothes dry faster on a hot sunny day compared to a rainy day where there is a lot of humidity in the atmosphere. Next point is wind speed. An increase in the wind speed increases the rate of evaporation. Clothes dry faster on a windy day. Then, how does evaporation cause cooling? Evaporation causes cooling. So, how does it happen? During the process of evaporation, the particles of liquid absorb energy or latent heat of vaporization from the surrounding area to get converted to gaseous state. This absorption of energy from the surrounding make the surrounding cool. For example, perspiration or sweating of our body keep the body temperature constant by taking away extra heat from our body. The second example will be on a hot day, people sprinkle water on the roof to make it cooler. Then turn the page. Now we come to our next activity. Why should we wear cotton clothes? Why should we wear cotton clothes in summer? Why should we wear it? During summer, we perspire more. ज़्यादा पसीना आता है हमको because of the mechanism of our body which keeps us cool. During evaporation, particles at the surface of liquid gain energy from the surrounding. The heat energy equal to the latent heat of vaporization is absorbed from the body, leaving the body cool. And cotton is a good absorber of water. So it absorbs the sweat and expose it to atmosphere for easy evaporation. Thus we feel very comfortable in cotton clothes. Then next is, why do we see water droplets on the surface of glass containing ice cubes? Why do we see it? The water vapor present in air on coming in contact with the cold glass of water loses energy and gets converted into liquid state, which we see as droplets of water. So with this we finish the lesson, first lesson. I hope you have understood it. Now I have completed this lesson in 5 videos. I would like you people to see all the videos together. Once you see all the videos from 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, all the videos you see together, then you will understand it. After understanding the lesson, you have to read the summary. That is what you have learned. In page number 11 it is there. All the points are given. Learn it. And then learn the notes which I have given. After that only do the exercise. Try to learn the question answer of exercise. This way you have already learned the main points of the lesson. You have learned the notes. Then most of the questions in the exercise you can easily do by yourself. You don't have to mug up because you have understood the lesson. So you can answer any question which is asked. So it will be easy for you. Okay, thank you beta. Revise once more. And many parents are complaining to me that students are not writing. You make one chemistry notebook. In that you have to complete this lesson. My next video will be in physics. Lesson number 8, motion. But before that, Mansi madam is going to take one lesson in biology. After she finishes her lesson in biology, I'll take one lesson in physics. So you have to make 3 notebooks in science. One for bio, one for physics and one for chemistry. Thank you.